Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything. I'm coming at you with another Traveler video. This video is going to be an unboxing slash initial impression video of, oh my lord, Traveler, the card game. They actually did it. Okay. Now, I did see the Traveler card game was a Kickstarter, and they even did a second Kickstarter where they would give everybody a reprint of all the character cards or something like that. But this is endorsed by Far Future Enterprises, which is Mark Miller's personal company, and this is actually put out by Horizon. Horizon Games puts this out. This is a 2-player starter set. I've watched another video. Someone was doing a rules explanation, but there were gaps and holes in that explanation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an initial unboxing. We're going to do a first impressions of what the cards and what the rule book and how the packaging and everything is done. And then I'm going to do a second video where, after I get a chance to read the rules, do a second video explaining everything about the game and like explaining the rules and maybe do a playthrough or something like that. But in this first video, we're just going to do an unboxing first impression video. Okay, so let me get the camera moved so you can actually see what I'm doing here. All right, so I've moved over to a little close-up view of the box. It's a beautiful box with the Far Trader. I guess that's a Free Trader, the Beowulf class Free Traders on the cover, and then it's got a Scout Type S scout ship approaching, and you got the planet in the background. That's a beautiful looking picture right there. Look, I see a little battle damage right there. He's got his turret. You know, looks good. Okay, flip it around. 2 to 4 players, right? 2 to 4 players, ages 12 and up. Should only take about 30 minutes to play a game, is what it's saying. Okay. Now this says 2 to 4 players, and I know for a fact that there are solitaire missions, so it should say 1 to 4 players. Contents in the box: you get a Type S scout ship deck with 81 cards. You get the Beowulf Free Trader ship deck with 81 cards. You get a supplemental deck with 60 cards. You get 81 tokens, skill tokens. You get capability tokens, 36. Infamy tokens, 13. Wound tokens, 7. Structure tokens, 7. Victory point tokens, 17. And a rules guide. And then down here it says Traveler, Twilight 2000, 2300 AD, and Dark Conspiracy are all Far Future Enterprises. That's unusual. This is made in China. That's okay. It's not a toy, not intended for 12 years or older. Now, Traveler is a licensed trademark of Far Future Enterprises. Then it just shows you an example of some of the cards, like if you found this on the... And then a starter set contains everything you need for 2 players to hit the mains of the Third Imperium. Pretty cool. With all disclosure, I did open this earlier when I was playing our Traveler game today, our pen and paper Traveler game. I opened it because I was so excited. I wanted to see what was inside. And I opened one of the decks just to kind of fumble through the cards. But I didn't really look at everything. So here we go. We're going to take a look at everything. One thing I did notice, and this is a downside, I guess, it was extremely hard at that time to get the bottom of the box out from inside the top of the box. I was struggling to get the 2 separated. I'm doing that now. I'm struggling to have the 2 separated. It's like the top of the box is made just a little bit too small. It came with this sheet of foam, which I thought was kind of unusual that it would come with a piece of foam like this. But that's okay. Comes with their rule book. Now you see this is a big square rule booklet 2.0, so this must be an updated rule booklet. That's cool. Yeah, I did see that this was going into a second printing. You can see that's the deck that I had opened, but here's a deck, And here's the supplemental deck. And then there are all the tokens. Tokens come in a little Ziploc bag. And they're already pre-punched, so you don't have to punch them out of any kind of, like counter sheet or anything like that. Now, I'm not a fan of what you're looking at right here. You got vacuum formed, wasted space, right? It's deeper than you needed it. The box did not need to be this deep. It was so deep that someone decided that they needed to put foam in there to keep everything from rattling around. So the box is too deep. The box didn't have to be this big. The box could have been smaller. And it honestly, yeah, the vacuum form I'm okay with, but not the waste of space. Because there could have been a deck here, there could have been a deck there. Even if it was only these decks, and you can see that's pretty thick, right? Even if it was only these decks, you could have made a box. This is a critique that I have. And look, I can't even get my deck out. I can't even get all my cards out because the way the vacuum form is cut, there's not an easy way. I'm using my fingernails to get down in there to get my decks. Obviously, I'm going to put these in sleeves. I'm going to put them in card boxes and stuff like that. Okay, I might have a hard time getting that last card out. I am having a hard time. I shouldn't have to do that. Okay. Deck 1, right? Deck 2, deck 3. Even if they need to be separated, which, okay, I get they might need to be separated. I could have put all the cards in a box this big, right? I could have printed this booklet differently. Even if they wanted to put it in a box with a booklet this big, it's unnecessary. It's a waste of box space. I understand the tokens, the rule book. This box is way too big. It's just too big. Now, I'm going to take this out and probably throw it away. Then I'll have a really good box to store all kinds of miniatures or paint or rule books or something. But I don't know. I just felt like that was a poor design choice. Whoever made that decision, I did not like it. I love the big box. Don't get me wrong. I love the big box, and I love the fact that it's a tight seal. I just don't like waste. I don't like waste, and to me, that was waste. They could have made the box thinner, made the box more close to the vacuum form, and then you wouldn't have to have this styrofoam. And then they could have also made these finger grip holes go all the way to the bottom, because I'm having a hard time getting cards out. Enough of that. Okay, I'm just going to open the tokens and we're just going to dump them. Just because I want to see what they look like. Okay, they're all round. That's another thing. If they love iconography, which I understand that that's one of the big things about the Traveler rules, that icons are super important, then to help with the icons, you do color, which I get that. They've got some colors, purples and greens and yellows. But they could have done shapes. They could have done some squares and some rounds. The squares could have been all one type of counter, and the rounds could be all one type of counter. Luckily, that's blood on both sides. And I think they're double-sided, right? Oh, see? That one's not. That's got a, I don't know what that is. Shields, weapons, I don't know. And then on the other side, it's a mixture. Yeah. Skulls, I would assume, have something to do with piracy, or you would think they would use skull and crossbones for that. I don't know. And the winning trophy should probably be like a victory points, I would assume. And I don't know what all these counters mean. I can't, okay, it looks like a little conversation bubble right there. Yeah. Some of them are, I mean, hopefully they're going to be pretty easy to understand what these things are. We'll have to go in and look at the rules and figure it out. So let's put all these back. Well, they're beautiful counters. They look like they're put together very well. But I just think they could have used not only colors and pictures, but they could have used shapes as well. And square counters, I'm sure, are a lot easier to manufacture than round ones. I don't know. I'm just, probably doesn't cost any difference. I don't know. I'm going to the rules. 2.0. What does the back have? Perfect. It's got the icon reference on the back page. So if I need to see what any of these icons are, I can just look. What was that icon? There it goes. Military icon is those cross swords. And then the back side was something like this, military and survey. Because you have basic ones, cargo, military, passenger, survey. Then you got advanced ones, which must be the other side, which have the split. Cargo passenger, military survey, passenger survey. And then you got all these other ones. Tech, trained, admin. Infamy was the skulls. Victory points, I was right about the little chalice. Victory cup. And then you have a round sequence, so you have your sequence of play right there, and it's all organized where you don't have to be flipping through the book all the time. You can look right here just to see what's going on, and then you can check your icons. Okay, so let's go to the first page of the rules. Index maybe? No index. Last page? No index. No table of contents? No index. Okay, no worries. I just have to know then. Luckily, the pages are numbered. Talks about icons, control versus ownership. The book looks really good. I like the picturing, waste of space. Right here, I'm talking about space wastage. If the rules are only this wide, or need to only be this wide, I could have made a smaller rule book. I could have made the box this big. I could have taken this deck, put it right there in that spot, and I could have made my box that big. They're kind of showing you how to lay out. I played a lot of L5R, and there's kind of an initial way that you're supposed to set everything up, and it looks like they've got the same thing here. You got your ship. You got probably anything attached to the ship. You've got connections, which are probably like, people. And then you got the people on your ship, the crew. And then I don't know what, these are your two decks that you're playing out of, probably, the red and the blue deck. Because you have an adventure deck, and then you got a captain's deck. And then you got the discard pile, of course. And then over here, you've got your contracts. And it says played by opponent. Attached complications. Okay, so your contracts look like they're the gray ones, and then your complications are played by your opponent, attached to make it harder for you to do those things. We'll get into the rules, and once we go through. We got your round sequence. You got the ready phase, the adventure phase. You've got procurement phase. I guess that's buying stuff. Action phase, take actions to do things. That's kind of cool. You have a resource phase, resolution phase, and then here's an example of complication resolution, and they're also just showing a bunch of icons for no reason. Hey, broadsword. They're showing Empress Morava Far Trader and a Type S, but you don't have a Morava in here. There are expansions that are coming out or they're trying to get out. And I'm looking forward to those because I plan to get them subsidized merchant. See now this competition right here? I know that they have wasted space on the outside, but that could have been easily placed right there. I don't know, I'm definitely critiquing the book. There's a glossary of terms. Okay, that's good. Timing, okay, because there's probably reactions and interrupts and things like that. I'm just throwing that out there. Keywords. Okay, like what does resilient mean and what kind of icons involved with that? And yeah. And ship card anatomy, they're telling you what all the icons and where everything is located on the ship card, where everything is on the adventure card, like the mission and the complication. Connection card. Oh, Crazy Eddie. Card anatomy, the event, gear, because you can get gear, like there's an engineering toolkit. Heroic actions. Ship upgrades. And then I guess this is two players going at it against each other. They pushed them in a little close, I think. I would have a little more space there. But again, you got your ship. You got your hand, probably. You've got your decks. You got your missions and whatever those things are underneath. We'll have to figure this out as we go, and I'll example of play, ready, adventure. Okay, so this is like walking you through a turn in the game, probably. And it's still going on. There's action phase, or resource phase, and then resolution phase. And yep, see, I knew it. Solo play. There's a couple of missions here for solo play. So the box shouldn't say 2 to 4 players. It should say 1 to 4 players. I give it a thumbs up so far. I like it. I just think there's some wasted space, which that doesn't affect me. That doesn't affect my game at all. It's not, and it's not going to affect my enjoyment. I'm just giving a recommendation to the company that they should trim one of these sides off, right? Put this deck over there, make a box only this big, and then make a rule book only that big. You don't need a rule book this. That's a ridiculous size for a rule book. Not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous, but it's just extra big. I mean, I was playing L5R, you know, it came in a box this big, and the rule book fit inside the card box. So, but you don't get that here. You don't get that here. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these cards. I'm going to put the missions and the complications a little bit off to the side because, you know, because advanced solutions. I don't know if you can see that in the glare and all that. And I don't know if this is on autofocus or whatever, but that is pretty cool. Class X Startown Bar. Okay. There's Crazy Eddie. Yeah. My understanding is you don't get different cards in the box. Like everybody gets exactly the same cards. So I don't know why it's called a collectible card game. Here's the Beowulf ship. There's your ship. This is the Beowulf ship deck. Lost and Found. This must be a heroic action. Remember that time. It's got a Vargar on it. Surgical Intervention. Reap the Whirlwind. Lost and Found again. Remember that time. Personal Intervention. That looks like that one guy that played James Bond. He also played like Steel on the Steel series, TV series. Not Alec Baldwin, but what's that guy's name? I'm having a hard time remembering the guy that played his name. If you said it, I'd know it right away. Okay, then we got what? A Blade of Armor, Luxury Suite. These are all upgrades now. Missile Barbette, Modular Hold, A Blade of Armor, Luxury Suite, Missile Barbette, Modular Hold. Then there's this 150 megajoule laser. Okay. Finch and Cho CPA. Okay. Lagzo's surplus outlet. Must be a Vargar. And then you got crew members like Buddy. Hey, Buddy. Then you got Jim Thorpe. Okay, he must be a football player. George Zamapidis. Playmaka. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's obviously an Imperial name. Ganerdisi Dergushi. Okay. What is he? Does it say like... Ah, it does. He's an Imperial Villani noble. What is he? Imperial professional. Imperial mercenary scoundrel. Imperial altruistic gearhead. Okay. What about this? Deshaun Jasso. He's an Imperial unsavory. I don't know what any of that means. More of the same. Then we got Imperial unsavory. Shobin El Amin. Okay. Imperial amiable. Rika Honami. Okay, I don't know any of that. Glancing shot. Extrapolated readings. Consultant call. Bwap advisors. Oh, there's another person. Zet Urshak, Imperial professional. Okay. Armed gig. That's a card I'm going to have to show the players. You know, when they meet something with an armed gig. I plan to use a lot of these cards in my role-playing game just to show off the pictures because I think the artwork on these cards are 100% top-notch. I really like the artwork. I think somebody did a good job. I don't know who the artist is, but they did good. Time is money. They're yelling at each other. Bwap advisor, extrapolated readings, glancing shot, negotiations, time is muddy. Money. Personal intervention, so I got like a million of those. Surgical intervention, read the whirlwind. Fragmentation grenade. Nice. Panacea, auto injector. They just bought some Panacea in my campaign tonight. Body pistol. Free Trader Network. There must be a contact. Another laser. And then this is a multi-phased array. I'm not sure what that is. Mill grade sensors. Okay. Now let's check out the Type S scout ship. Whoa, I almost wiped out. Okay. Okay. So they got a... I didn't even notice this on the Beowulf. I didn't even really look. But on the back of the Beowulf, you got... Or the back of the Scout, you've got a Scout picture. And then on the front of it, you got all of its stats. Okay, that's cool. Then you got blue and red cards. Okay, cool. And I didn't even go over those red cards. We should probably go over them here in a minute. Let's do that right now. Let's go over these. The missions are like mid-passage mark, or humanitarian evacuation, or refugee resettlement, group package, down the main, scheduled shipment, smuggler's run, witness relocation, transshipping, bulk hauling, reach for the stars, Zodani science expedition, ooh, oh no, humanitarian excavation, down the main, scheduled shipment, smuggler's run, witness relocation, transshipping, bulk hauling, and the Zodani science expedition. Okay, so you get most of those. And then on the other side, you got the ones you would play against your opponent, like unexpected booking, jump phobia, last minute revisions, wanted, crooked customs, larger than the photo, myriad difficulties, buccaneer, unexpected booking, firmware update error, jump phobia, last minute revision, wanted, crooked customs, larger than, myriad, unexpected customs, buccaneer, letting things slide. Yeah, so those are the missions and complications. Those are probably the red cards. They are. Okay. Let's put those back. Let's see what kind of red cards the Scout deck has. Stellar Luminosity Steady. Red Zone Prospecting. You're not supposed to go to a red zone. Gravimetric Probe Retrieval. Dwarf Planet Survey. Mid-Passage Mark. Refugee Resettlement. Same thing. Group Package. Universal World Profile Update. Sounds like a survey. X-Boat Route Review. Reach for the Stars, Zodani Science Expedition, Stellar Luminosity Study, Red Zone, Gravimetric, Dwarf Planet, Mid-Passage, all the same. Okay. These are related more to cargo carrying, and I noticed, and this is related more to surveying and scouting. Well, it is a scout ship. So now we're looking at Class X Star Town, Starport Bar, same thing. Frontier Shipping Company. It's got a robot delivering a package. Raal Kias Syndicate. Starship Graveyard. Cool picture. And then, is that a crew? No. This guy looks like a crew member. Is that not a crew? It says Gearhead Mercantile Salvage. Okay, I'm not sure. Looks like the same, but okay. This is an altruistic Tybor. It's got a little goat or something down there. What the heck? Okay. Oh my gosh, look at that hairdo. It's a Yurieki Aslan Trader. Aslan Female Mercantile. Starship Graveyard. Okay, this looks like a crew member. Amina Darzi, MD. Imperial Mercenary Unsavory. Must be a doctor. Hey, it's Flint. Imperial Unsavory Veteran. This is the same as in that deck. George Zamapoligamaka. Professor Leander Standish. It's Imperial Celebrity. Rika Huna, the same one. Vorn Drusus. Mercenary. Another MD. Flint, Standish, Drusus. Okay, this is pretty cool. 3PL. Freight. Okay. WAP Advisor. Calling the Master. Interesting. Okay, I might be able to use that one. Just for looking. Consultant Call. Dramatic Renegotiation. He's got a gun on the table. So it makes it dramatic. Freelancer. Okay. Glitch in your computers. Just a little longer. What's going on there? Okay. Oh, you got to wait to get into Starport, probably. I don't know what's going on here. Space Warfare, Predatory Tactics. Okay. 3PL, BWAP, Calling the Marker, Calling in a Marker. Okay, got it. Consultant Call, Dramatic Renegotiation, Freelancer, Just a Little Longer, Predatory Tactics, Consultant Call, Freelancer, Just a Little Longer, Predatory Tactics. Okay, so you got like 3 of each of those. Cognition Wafer, Cybernetics. Densiometer, it's a sensor. Panacea's Auto-Injector, got that. Cognition Wafer, Panacean Auto-Injector. Okay. Surgical Intervention, Polymath. Okay. Inspired Oration. These are hero actions. Contingency, Polymath, Inspired Oration. Contingency. Oh, what is this? This looks a little different. Okay, let me pick these up. Put these over. Okay, I don't recognize this card. False Registry. Corsair. It's really a Corsair, but it looks like a Freelancer. Phase Array, okay. Modular Hold. RVD Overtuned Thruster Plate. Okay. Stellar Anomaly Log. Okay. Sure Shot Missile Turret. That looks good. False Registry, Multi-Phased Array, Stellar Anomaly Log, and Sure Shot Missile Turret. Okay. Those 2 decks are pretty cool. Advanced Solutions. Let's check it out. Okay, Advanced Solutions, Classic Startown, Crazy Eddie, Free Trader Network, Starship Graveyard. These are a lot of the same cards. Tybor, the Girl, Crazy Eddie's, Finch, Surplus Outlet, Buddy. Ooh, what's this? A Buff Bot. I think these are like cards that could be used in either deck. That's my guess. Deshaun, Flint, George, Jim, Professor, all the characters. And a Buff Bot. Then calling in a marker, dramatic renegotiation, extrapolated reading, glancing shot, glitch, negotiated non-aggression, time is money, armored gig, cognition wafer, densiometer, fragmentation grenade. Okay, grav assisted cargo bot. Ooh, grav hauler. Cargo bot and hauler again. Reap the whirlwind, lost and found, remember that time, polymath, inspired oration, contingency, blade of armor, false registry, array, luxury suite, missile barbette, laser, overturned thruster plate, stellar anomaly, and sure shot missile turret. Okay, so these are a lot of duplicates from what's in there. And I don't think it really matters how you build your deck, but I guess it's up to you to build your deck properly to make a good game. Okay, so my theory so far, my initial impressions is it's going to be fun, right? Beautiful cards. Rules seem like they're laid out pretty good. A lot of counters, already punched, you don't have to deal with it. Downside, box is oversized, too big. It's too deep, and it's too big around, too big square for the amount of cards. What you get in the box, you're getting half air, right? So it's got way too much. There's no dice, I've noticed that. And there's probably no like counters I need because they're all right there. So that's a good thing. It's all in one self-contained game. Okay. So let's put these cards up. So I'm gonna give it a good score. But we'll see when we come back and I read the rules and we play a couple of rounds and we kind of see how the game plays. And then maybe if I can convince one of my players or 2 or 3 or 4 of my players to come and play, we'll play a few rounds of this game. I've only got 2 ships, so we can only play with 2 players right now. They make other ships out there. I just haven't got them yet. I want to get one of every ship, so that's something I want to do. So thanks for coming out and checking out this open boxing / first impressions, and look for my next video where I'm going to be talking about the aliens of the Imperium.